Hello everybody, Simon with the Quigg, Coins and Bullion here, and today I'm coming to you guys with some rare bullion that I set aside that I like to collect. Silver and gold are at an all-time high, so I want to share the kind of things that I like to buy and set aside and put back when it comes in, so you guys can kind of see what I enjoy. We'll get update. Still not pretty sparse, guys. Honestly, I got some more fine silver in. Hopefully I will be able to sell or trade this away at the upcoming shows. I will be at Sioux Falls for early bird only this coming Friday, as well as Roseville. All day I will be set up at Roseville in Minnesota here. So if you're local, come stop by, say hi. And just as a reminder, I am always looking to buy new coins, currency, bullion, gold and silver jewelry, all that stuff there. So if you guys have any for me, let me know. But let's dive in, and I will share some bullion that I've been setting back for a long time and some stuff that I may eventually sell if silver gets high enough. So let's talk about that. All right, so let's dive in and look at some of these silver goodies that I keep squirreling away. And I just want to put a aside in the beginning of the video here. I am also going to be traveling for Friday, so Friday's video will be out on Friday. I will be filming it kind of throughout this week, but the stuff that I'm buying this week will be on the website, and it should be live as this video goes up, but the video reviewing that stuff will come out on Friday just because I won't be able to film when I'm traveling on Friday, so it'll be up and available for you guys to purchase. Some nice stuff, very affordable, so go check that out after you guys are done watching this video here. But this is how I keep my silver. I throw it in a bank bag, and it's easy. It's a durable bag, and I am just going to kind of pull stuff out and talk about it. I mean, it's nothing. I mean, I just kind of picked a random, interesting selection of stuff, and you know, this you guys are kind of, you always ask, you know, you see stuff in a video and you're like, hey, is that for sale? And a lot of stuff like this, California Crown Mint stuff, I set back when it comes in the office. This is the kind of stuff that I like to hold on to. Nice vintage bars here. You know, there's some other very cool pours, custom pours, things like that, and I'll talk about that kind of stuff. This is a Bear Mint, something like that, fine silver. And this is just stuff that I find so fascinating, interesting, unique, one of the kind of thing. You know, I do have some minted silver. This maplegram thing I got in a group of probably like 4 or 5 of them. I sold enough to break even. So, I mean, that's perks of the biz, right? Is you're able to get stuff, and then instead of taking some profits, you put a little silver to the side. And this maplegram thing is pretty dang cool. There you got your 1/20 ounces, quarter ounces, 10th ounces on the bottom there. And it's funny because each one of them have a denomination on them. $1, 50 cents, and 25 cents. Let's see what else. This is kind of cool. Vintage Western Federal Corporation silver bar, 10 ounces there. Let's see. There's going to be not too many duplicates. Nice vintage, really frosted poured Silvertown. And you guys, you may kind of give me a hard time, but a lot of this stuff just goes right in the bag. I mean, it's hard to stack the stuff in a safe. You know, it's difficult because it is odd shaped, so it just goes in a bag. The bag is hardy. You know, it's not going to hurt the silver to be bumping around there. A lot of this stuff is vintage. This is one of my favorite custom silver producers, pourers, whatever you want to say. It's Satori Silver Precious Metals. Check them out on Instagram. I've been buying stuff from him for well over 10 years. He makes really, really cool, unique custom pieces, and I would recommend getting stuff from him. Let me know if you guys have heard of him, or you have any of his stuff. I do keep like stuff like this that does have a nice finish to it in bags, so don't worry about this stuff getting dinged around. But you know, stuff like this, you know, stuff like this, it's already dinged and scratched up. I'm not gonna be too worried about keeping it nice. Bear Mint, 5 ounce, very cool there. And a lot of this stuff is really, really low mintage. You saw this one was serial number 1. This one is number 2. So just kind of cool. And guys, you know, remember that as silver continues to climb, a lot of premiums on things like this vintage stuff is coming down quite a bit. So it is good to keep an eye out for that as stuff comes in. Your coin shops, I know for me, you know, stuff like this, you know, the Silver City 2-ounce silver bar, you know, it's pretty much always been 50 bucks an ounce, and now the premium at $41 is only $9 over an ounce. I mean, that's pretty good. It was way less palatable when it was $25 an ounce, and this was a 100% premium versus like a 20% premium. So just keep that in mind. It's a good way to build equity, especially with silver continuing to rise. All the bare mint stuff was on top here. But guys, let me know if this is kind of how you guys stack. I mean, I kind of basically got tired of putting aside generic stuff. 90%, I've got plenty of that, but I want to be able to collect something that I can enjoy, take out, you know, it's a cool conversation piece, you know, and it's not something that anybody else really has. Let's see, another cool kind of slab, 4.9 ounces, just really, really, you know, nice brushed metal finish. Very, very cool on that kind of stuff. I do have a lot more poured silver. That's kind of what I target if I go to shows, things like that. Atlantis Mint, that's always pretty cool, 5-ounce piece there. But yeah, I do target kind of niche, interesting, you know, custom poured stuff, or, you know, things like this. This is just kind of like a goofy tube thing. It's very interesting. That back there. This was one of my first silver bars I ever bought. Bison Bullion. This is like a generation 1. And again, this is just so cool. It has the gorgeous pour lines. You can see the crystalline structure there. And I have a lot of the Bison Bullion stuff. Probably one of my favorite bigger manufacturers. And you cannot go wrong with some bullets, guys. I was working on this set for a long time. I think I finally got the 10-ounce maybe a year or 2 years ago, but I got the 1-ounce, the 2-ounce here, the 5-ounce, and the 10-ounce, and now they even have a 25-ounce and a 100-ounce. So I don't know if we'll get the 25 and 100. It's a lot of money to be setting aside, but it is pretty dang cool to have the set of the smaller ones there. So cannot complain about something like that. And of course, it's just kind of fun to play with. Again, a lot of this is fun to just have as a bit of a conversation piece there. Sticking with the vintage, JPM, nice kind of, not really a waffle back, but still nice vintage frosted bar. Nevada Coin Mart, very, very cool vintage 10-ounce bar piece there. And you know, a lot of this stuff used to be, when silver was $25, $30, this was 450 bucks, and now it's $4 over spot. It's probably a little more than that, but you know, realistically, this kind of thing is very, very cool. Another little 5-ounce Silvertown. Just love this kind of very raw poured kind of silver there. This is cool. I picked this up when I was on vacation, probably 5-6 years ago, but guy had it in the generic bin. It is some kind of vintage piece. It's unmarked, but even unmarked vintage pieces are still, you know, well, would have been 40 bucks an ounce, 50 bucks an ounce, but I don't know what it is now, but it doesn't really matter what the price is. You know, as I said in the beginning, I'm not really queued up to sell this kind of thing. It's just, I'm buying it, I'm setting it aside and enjoying it. And I do try to target things that will hopefully, once silver stabilizes or goes back down, will retain premiums. And that's the kind of thing that I enjoy as well. Atlanta Mint Ink, kind of cool extruded poured bar there. Put this down here. Let's see. This, I have no idea what this is. This was just cool. If you guys know what this is, let me know. Kind of odd way to silver bar, but kind of interesting there. This was cool. This is a rarities silver bar, odd weight, 5.23 ounces. Let me know in the comments what you guys are stacking. Is it vintage? Is it poured silver? Is it generics? Are you not stacking at all? But just let me know. LHB is another cool guy on Instagram, kind of odd weight, but he makes cool custom poured silver things there. YPS, this was one of the more interesting ones. Little 3-ounce triangle. This was cool. Little alien. I believe the mintage on this is like 100, so this is 33 out of 100. Another one of my favorites for large producers is Monarch Precious Metals. I have a lot of their 1, 2, 3, 5 ounce, 10 ounce. I even have a 25 ounce bar. I didn't haul anything larger than a 10 ounce out today, just because it is a lot to carry around, and I don't really need to drop that kind of thing here. So, but MPM, one of my favorites here. This is one of their older vintage bars, and again, just look at the gorgeous pour lines. You cannot complain about that. This over here. Put that down there. Kind of still got quite a few pieces here. Got a nice 10 ounce poured Silvertown. Still not a waffle back, but it still has those cool pour lines on the reverse. Couple of Englehards. Again, these, when I was first starting out, these were really high premium. Still pretty high now, but it's the kind of thing that I like getting in. I don't want to have like 10 of the same bar. That's not really interesting to me, but I want to have like a few examples of a few different varieties. Let's see what else. Got a cool USS Constitution silver bar, kind of poured, chunky kind of thing there. That's very cool. This is the Satori again. Cool. He makes very, very cool. This is stamped. He does laser engraving, but just kind of a goofy little frog guy, and that's very fun to collect. Another cool LHB Lake House Beach silver thing, puck pour. Just stuff like this is just interesting to me. All right, we are approaching kind of the end. Another vintage P-loaf. This is the waffle back. You can see what I call it the waffle back. Cool Georgia Analytics 10 ounce bar. These are more common. There are some like really rare varieties for this series, but I'm pretty sure this one is pretty common there. This one is also pretty fun. A limited edition. This is 247 out of 750, 7.50 ounce for the Jägermeister liquor. Just kind of cool silver bar there. Bought this probably 5 or 6 years ago in a collection group, so always fun to hold on to very just interesting conversation pieces there. I have a Kilo Tombstone, but I figured I'd bring the little one out. I like these because they're all unique, just really, really nice, flashy silver bars. And of course, you got the nice texture there. And they're all different, so can't really complain about that. Little 5 ounce Tombstone. All right, reaching the end here. Got some more Satori silver. These are cool, just little 10 gram pieces, but again, makes really, really cool stuff. I would recommend checking him out. He does really, really good work. So recommend him. Nice 10 ounce Silvertown waffle back. Pretty cool there. Cannot complain about that. All right, last, check my bag, make sure it's empty. I think this is a modern piece. Great Lakes coin. Really odd weight silver bar. I think this is modern, but again, cool, super poured back on that. And the last two here is a nice 5 ounce vintage JPM bar. And then a little 1 ounce Nevada Coin Mart to go with my 10 ounce. And I that kind of wraps it up. But let me know what you guys think. I felt like sharing some of the stuff that I like to collect and talking about why I do collect this kind of stuff. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you're collecting right now, and drop a comment below. But we will wrap this up and dive right into the giveaway. All right, everybody, so let's get into that giveaway. For today, I've got some nice obsolete type, large cent, 2-cent piece, and a shield nickel. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe to be entered into the giveaway. We do giveaways each of the videos. You can check out all my information here on the landing page of YouTube in the description of the videos, as well as my Instagram website here. All of the some of the new stuff that came in yesterday and today is already up on the website. Got some really dirt cheap proof and business strike silver eagles, so check those out. You guys tore through the last lot very quickly, so happy to get some more of those up there for you. Follow me on Instagram. And also forgot to mention, we hit 1,900 subscribers, so I'm going to be looking for some cool things to do for the 2,000 subscriber giveaway. Hopefully that'll happen in the next couple of weeks. So guys, I mean, like, I want to say 60% of you watching are not subscribed. Subscribe and get in on some of the giveaway action there. All right, we are going to grab the comments from Monday's video. 41 comments. Thank you guys. All right, Buck, please reach out to claim your prize, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.